Ladies and gentlemen, let's talk about something real, something raw. It's that moment when someone you care about, someone you've invested time, energy, maybe even love into chooses to ignore you. It stings, doesn't it? It's like a silent dagger, sharp and cold, cutting straight to the core of who you are. But let me tell you something powerful. That pain you feel, it's a sign. You see, when someone ignores you, it's not just about you, it's about them. It's about their inability to communicate, their priorities, or maybe their fears. But here's the secret: their silence is sending you a message. And that message is this: you're meant for something bigger than their approval. What if we flip the script? What if, instead of letting that pain define us, we used it to refine us? Because being ignored is an opportunity. It's a chance to ask yourself, am I surrounding myself with people who lift me higher, or am I chasing those who pull me down? This is your wake-up call. Stop giving your power to those who don't see your value. Start pouring that energy into yourself. Invest in your dreams, your growth, your life. When someone chooses to walk away, don't chase after them. Instead, run toward the person you're becoming, the person who doesn't beg for attention but commands respect. Let me remind you, rejection isn't always a loss. Sometimes it's redirection. The universe has a funny way of clearing the path for what's truly meant for you, but you have to be willing to let go of what no longer serves you. When someone ignores you, it hurts. But don't let that hurt harden you. Let it shape you. Let it teach you how to rise above, to live with purpose, and to never settle for anything less than extraordinary. Because the truth is, you are unstoppable. Not because of what others give you, but because of what you decide to give yourself. So today, choose to see the signs, embrace the lessons, and keep moving forward. You are worthy. You are powerful. And no amount of silence can take that away. The pain of being ignored cuts deeper than most of us like to admit. It's a unique kind of hurt, isn't it? Unlike open conflict or harsh words, being ignored is a silent rejection. It's the absence of acknowledgement, the feeling that your presence, your words, your very being doesn't matter. It leaves you questioning not only your relationship with the person who ignored you, but also your own value. We're wired as human beings to crave connection. From the moment we're born, we seek attention, love, and validation. When someone chooses to withdraw their attention, it feels unnatural, like an emotional void that pulls at your self-esteem. You start replaying the moments in your head, wondering where you went wrong. Was it something you said, something you didn't say? Maybe you weren't good enough, funny enough, or interesting enough. The mind can be ruthless in creating stories that explain the silence, and most of them paint you as the problem. But it's not just the mental turmoil, it's the physical response too. Your chest tightens, your stomach churns, and that lump forms in your throat as if your body is trying to process the absence of something it desperately needs. Being ignored isn't just about the lack of attention, it's about the message that lack sends. It says, you don't matter to me right now, and even if that's not the truth, it's how we internalize it. What makes it even harder is the uncertainty. At least with an argument, you know where you stand. But silence, it leaves you in limbo, stuck between hope and hurt, between the desire to reach out and the fear of seeming desperate. You're left second-guessing yourself, your relationships, and sometimes even your worth. And let's not forget the ripple effect. That feeling of being ignored doesn't just stay in one moment, it follows you into other areas of your life. You might find yourself withdrawing from other people, fearing they'll ignore you too. Or you overcompensate, trying harder to please others just to avoid that ache of silence again. It's exhausting, isn't it? Here's the hardest part to admit: being ignored hurts so much because deep down we equate attention with love. When someone ignores us, it feels like they're withholding care, approval, or even respect. And that's why it stings. It shakes the foundation of how we see ourselves in the world. But let me tell you this: the pain of being ignored is not the end of your story. It's a chapter, a moment, a lesson. And even though it hurts now, there's more waiting for you on the other side of it. When someone ignores you, it's easy to be consumed by the raw emotions of the moment: anger, sadness, confusion, or even resentment. But beneath the surface of that pain lies a deeper message, one that's often overlooked because it's buried under the weight of our feelings. Understanding the message behind being ignored is not about dismissing your hurt, it's about uncovering the truth and finding clarity in the midst of emotional chaos. First, it's important to recognize that when someone ignores you, it may not even be about you. Humans are complex, driven by their own struggles, fears, and limitations. The silence might reflect something going on in their world, stress, insecurity, or an inability to handle confrontation, not a statement about your worth. Understanding this truth can be liberating. It allows you to step back and view their actions through a lens of empathy rather than judgment. Sometimes their silence is a defense mechanism, a way of avoiding their own discomfort rather than a deliberate attempt to hurt you. On the flip side, being ignored could also be a signal that the dynamic in the relationship needs to be reevaluated. It might indicate an imbalance, perhaps one where you've been investing more energy than you're receiving in return. It's a nudge from life, urging you to ask yourself, am I giving too much to someone who isn't ready or willing to reciprocate? This realization can be tough, but it's essential for setting boundaries that protect your emotional health. The message behind being ignored might also point to areas where you've been seeking external validation. Let's be honest, it feels good to be seen, heard, and appreciated. But when someone withholds that from you, it can highlight an overdependence on others for your sense of self-worth. Their silence can serve as a powerful wake-up call, reminding you that your value doesn't come from their attention, but from within yourself. Sometimes being ignored is life's way of steering you in a different direction. It's a sign that the energy you're putting into this person or situation is better spent elsewhere. Think of it as redirection rather than rejection. When someone ignores you, it's an opportunity to focus on the people who truly value you, the passions that bring you joy, and the goals that move you forward. The silence can also teach you resilience. When you stop chasing explanations or validation, you begin to rely on your inner strength. You learn to navigate emotional discomfort without letting it consume you. And in doing so, you reclaim your power. Understanding the message behind being ignored doesn't erase the pain, but it gives that pain a purpose. It transforms the experience into a lesson about yourself, your relationships, and the boundaries you need to set to protect your energy. It's a sign that you're being called to step into a higher version of yourself, one who doesn't rely on others to feel whole, but instead chooses relationships and environments that align with your growth and values. In the end, the message behind the hurt is this: you are worthy, you are enough, and no amount of silence can diminish your light. Awareness is one of the most transformative tools we possess, yet it often goes unnoticed in the hustle of everyday life. When you feel the sting of being ignored, your immediate reaction might be emotional, a wave of hurt, anger, or confusion. But beneath those emotions lies an opportunity to awaken your awareness and use it as a guiding force to move forward. Awareness begins with noticing the reality of the situation without judgment. It's about stepping back from the raw emotion and observing what's truly happening. When someone ignores you, it's easy to get swept up in stories your mind creates. They don't care about me. I must have done something wrong. Maybe I'm not good enough. But awareness interrupts those narratives. It asks, what am I feeling? Why does this hurt so much? What is this situation teaching me? This level of self-awareness empowers you to separate fact from fiction. The fact is, someone isn't responding. The fiction is all the assumptions you make about why. By pausing and reflecting, you take control of your thoughts instead of letting them spiral into self-doubt or blame. Awareness creates space, a moment of clarity where you can choose how to respond instead of reacting impulsively. Awareness also sheds light on patterns in your relationships. Have you noticed this behavior before? Is it part of a larger dynamic with this person, or is it isolated? Perhaps you've been tolerating one-sided relationships where your needs aren't prioritized. Or maybe you've been giving too much of yourself, hoping for validation that never comes. Awareness helps you recognize these patterns and, more importantly, empowers you to decide whether they align with the life and relationships you want to build. In many ways, awareness is a mirror. It reflects not only what's happening outside of you, but also what's happening within. When someone's silence affects you deeply, it may reveal areas where you're seeking external validation. Why does their attention mean so much to you? Are you giving them the power to define your worth? Awareness invites you to turn inward, to ask the tough questions, and to reconnect with the unshakable truth of your value. Another profound aspect of awareness is its ability to reveal opportunities. Being ignored might feel like a door closing, but what if it's an invitation to focus on something else? Awareness helps you see where your energy is best spent. Instead of chasing someone's attention, you can redirect that energy into self-growth, meaningful relationships, or personal goals. It's a chance to reclaim your time, emotions, and mental space. Awareness doesn't just stop at understanding, it propels you into action. Once you recognize what's happening and why, you're better equipped to make empowered choices. Maybe it's setting boundaries with someone who repeatedly dismisses you. Maybe it's deciding to let go of a relationship that no longer serves you, or perhaps it's simply choosing to focus on your growth and well-being instead of fixating on someone's silence. Ultimately, the power of awareness lies in its ability to transform pain into clarity and clarity and clarity into action. It shifts your perspective from victimhood to empowerment, from confusion to understanding, and from stagnation to growth. It reminds you that while you can't always control how others treat you, you can always control how you respond. Through awareness, you gain the strength to honor yourself, protect your energy, and create a life filled with people and experiences that align with your highest values. It's a subtle but profound power, one that enables you to navigate life's challenges with grace and purpose. In moments of hurt, awareness becomes your greatest ally, guiding you back to your truth and helping you move forward with wisdom and confidence. When someone ignores you, it's natural to feel disoriented and hurt, like you've hit an emotional roadblock. But what if that roadblock isn't the end of the path, but a sign pointing you in a new direction? What if being ignored is less about rejection and more about redirection and invitation to shift your focus and energy towards something that truly matters? Redirection begins with recognizing that not every relationship or situation is meant to last forever. People come into our lives for different reasons, and sometimes their role is temporary. When someone ignores you, it may be life's way of highlighting that this person or dynamic no longer aligns with who you are or who you're becoming. While the initial sting of silence is painful, it's also a powerful signal urging you to reassess and realign. The act of being ignored can force you to pause and reflect. It's in these moments of stillness that clarity begins to emerge. What are you holding on to? Are you chasing someone's attention at the expense of your own peace? Redirection isn't about ignoring the pain, it's about using it as a catalyst to focus on areas of your life where growth is waiting. One of the most transformative shifts that comes with redirection is the realization that your worth is not tied to someone else's acknowledgement. When someone withholds their attention, it's easy to fall into the trap of seeking their approval even harder, trying to win them back or prove your value. But redirection asks you to stop chasing and start investing in yourself. One of the most transformative shifts that comes with redirection is the realization that your worth is not tied to someone else's acknowledgement. When someone withholds their attention, it's easy to fall into the trap of seeking their approval even harder, trying to win them back or prove your value. But redirection asks you to stop chasing and start investing in yourself. This is your opportunity to pour energy into personal growth. Maybe it's time to focus on your passions, develop new skills, or work toward a goal you've been neglecting. When you redirect your attention inward, you're no longer at the mercy of someone else's actions. You take control of your journey and use the energy you once gave to others to fuel your own evolution. Redirection also extends to your relationships. Being ignored can be a wake-up call to evaluate who deserves your time and emotional investment. Are you surrounding yourself with people who uplift and inspire you? Or are you clinging to relationships that drain your energy? This isn't about cutting people off out of anger. It's about choosing connections that nurture your growth and align with your values. At its core, redirection is about growth, not just externally but internally. It's about building resilience and learning to navigate disappointment with grace. Every time you face the pain of being ignored and choose to redirect that energy towards something constructive, you're strengthening your emotional muscles. You're teaching yourself that setbacks don't define you, they refine you. This process also helps you shift your mindset. Instead of seeing being ignored as a loss, you begin to see it as an opportunity, a chance to reassess, realign, and rise higher. What if this moment of silence is creating space for something better to enter your life? What if it's clearing the path for people, opportunities, and experiences that align more deeply with who you are? Growth through redirection doesn't happen overnight. It requires patience, self-compassion, and a willingness to let go of what no longer serves you. But as you move through this process, you'll find that the pain of being ignored begins to fade, replaced by a sense of purpose and empowerment. You'll look back and realize that what felt like rejection was actually a pivotal moment in your journey, a moment that pushed you to grow in ways you never thought possible. Redirection isn't just about moving on, it's about moving forward. It's about stepping into the next chapter of your life with clarity, confidence, and a renewed sense of self-worth. And in doing so, you discover that being ignored wasn't the end of the story, it was the beginning of a better one. When someone ignores you, it can feel as if they've taken a piece of your energy and held it hostage. Your thoughts loop endlessly, replaying conversations, analyzing their silence, and searching for reasons that may not even exist. It's exhausting, isn't it? But here's the truth, no one has the right to control your energy unless you allow it. The moment you realize this, you unlock the power to take back control. Taking back control starts with awareness. Acknowledge how much of your emotional and mental energy you've invested in this person or situation. Are you replaying scenarios in your mind, checking your phone repeatedly, or crafting responses to conversations that may never happen? This hyper-focus on someone else drains your energy, leaving less for yourself, your goals, and the people who truly value you. Recognizing this is the first step toward reclaiming your power. It's important to remember that your energy is finite. Every moment you spend worrying about why someone ignored you is a moment you could spend nurturing yourself or pursuing something meaningful. Taking back control means setting boundaries not just with the person who ignored you, but with your own mind. Decide how much of your attention and emotional bandwidth they deserve. And more often than not, the answer will be less than you're giving them now. Reclaiming your energy also involves a shift in perspective. Instead of focusing on the absence of their attention, turn your gaze inward. What do you need right now? How can you fill your own cup? Maybe it's diving into a passion project, spending time with people who uplift you, or simply taking a moment to breathe and ground yourself. Redirecting your energy towards self-care and personal growth is one of the most empowering things you can do. Another critical aspect of taking back control is letting go of the need for closure or validation. When someone ignores you, it's natural to want answers. You may feel an urge to confront them, to demand an explanation, or to fix the situation. But the truth is, closure doesn't come from them, it comes from within. By releasing the need for their validation, you free yourself from their control. You affirm that your worth isn't tied to their actions or acknowledgement. Practicing mindfulness can be a powerful tool in regaining control. When you find your thoughts drifting toward the person who ignored you, gently bring them back to the present moment. Focus on your breath, your surroundings, or an activity that brings you joy. Each time you choose to center yourself, you're reinforcing the idea that your energy belongs to you, not to anyone else. Taking back control of your energy also means learning to say no. Not just to the person who ignored you, but to any behaviors or habits that drain you. Stop over-explaining yourself. Stop seeking approval. Stop giving your time to people who don't reciprocate. By saying no to what depletes you, you create space for what nourishes you. It's worth noting that taking back control doesn't mean shutting yourself off from others or becoming hardened by the experience. It means standing firm in your power and choosing where to direct your energy. It's about being intentional with your time, emotions, and attention, investing them in places that align with your values and bring you joy. Over time, as you practice these habits, you'll notice a shift. The actions of others will have less power to derail you. You'll feel more grounded, more confident, and more in control of your life. You'll realize that being ignored, while painful, doesn't define you. What defines you is how you respond, how you choose to take that experience and use it to strengthen your sense of self. Reclaiming your energy is an act of self-respect. It's a declaration that your peace, your focus, and your happiness are not negotiable. It's a reminder that you are the only one who gets to decide where your energy goes. And once you take back control, you'll find that nothing and no one can take it from you again. When someone ignores you, the natural reaction is often a mix of hurt and anger. You might feel tempted to retaliate, to give them a taste of their own medicine, lash out, or withdraw in bitterness. But what if being ignored is not a call to react, but a sign to rise above? What if, instead of meeting their behavior with equal negativity, it's an opportunity for you to elevate yourself to a higher level of self-respect, understanding, and growth? Elevation begins with restraint. When someone's actions or lack thereof hurt you, it's easy to let emotions dictate your response. Retaliation might feel satisfying in the moment, but it rarely leads to lasting peace. In fact, it often traps you in a cycle of negativity, reinforcing the very pain you're trying to escape. Elevation, on the other hand, is about choosing not to lower yourself to the same behavior that hurt you. It's about rising above the noise and staying true to your values even when others don't. When you choose to elevate instead of retaliate, you're reclaiming control over your narrative. You're no longer reacting to someone else's silence or actions. You're choosing your response with intention. This shift in mindset is powerful because it puts you back in the driver's seat of your life. Instead of allowing someone's behavior to dictate your emotions, you decide how much power they hold over you, and often the answer is much less than you initially thought. Elevating means looking at the bigger picture. Why are you investing so much energy in this situation or person? Is their opinion of you truly reflective of your worth, or are you allowing their behavior to overshadow the love, respect, and recognition you already have from others or from yourself? Elevating isn't about ignoring the pain, it's about putting it into perspective and refusing to let it consume you. Elevation also involves embracing compassion, not just for yourself, but for the person who ignored you. This doesn't mean excusing their behavior or allowing them to continue treating you poorly. It means recognizing that their actions are often a reflection of their own struggles, insecurities, or emotional limitations. By viewing the situation through a lens of understanding, you release the burden of resentment and make space for personal growth. Choosing to elevate is also a sign of maturity and self-awareness. It shows that you're willing to prioritize your peace over winning a petty exchange. Retaliation keeps you tethered to the situation, but elevation frees you from it. It allows you to channel your energy into something constructive, whether that's focusing on your goals, strengthening your relationships with people who value you, or simply taking time to heal and reflect. Elevation doesn't mean ignoring your feelings or pretending the hurt doesn't exist. It means acknowledging the pain but refusing to let it define you. It's about using the experience as fuel to rise higher, to grow stronger, and to become wiser. Each time you choose to elevate, you're building emotional resilience and proving to yourself that you're capable of handling challenges with grace and dignity. When you elevate instead of retaliate, you also set an example for others. You show that strength isn't about how loudly you respond or how quickly you can get even. True strength lies in your ability to stay centered, to rise above the situation, and to focus on what truly matters. This kind of response not only protects your own peace, but also inspires those around you to approach conflicts with the same level of integrity. Ultimately, being ignored is a sign that it's time to turn inward and focus on your own elevation. It's a reminder to align your actions with your highest self, to let go of what no longer serves you, and to step into a version of yourself that is unshaken by the opinions or actions of others. Elevation is not about proving anything to anyone else. It's about proving to yourself that you are worthy of respect, love, and happiness, regardless of how others choose to behave. So the next time you're faced with the pain of being ignored, resist the urge to retaliate. Instead, see it as a sign to rise higher, to live with purpose, and to become the person you're meant to be. Because every challenge, even the ones that hurt the most, holds within it the power to elevate you if you choose to let it. When someone ignores you, it can feel like a blow to your sense of worth, a rejection that strikes at the core of your emotional well-being. But hidden within that pain lies an extraordinary opportunity, the chance to build resilience. Resilience is not about avoiding hurt or pretending that you're unaffected. It's about learning to face discomfort, adapt, and emerge stronger. Every time life challenges you, including the sting of being ignored, it presents an opportunity to develop this vital skill. Resilience begins with acceptance. Being ignored is a stark reminder that you cannot control the actions or choices of others, no matter how much you might wish to. This realization, though painful, is freeing. It shifts your focus from trying to change others to learning how to manage your own response. Accepting what you can't control allows you to direct your energy towards something far more powerful, mastering your internal world. When you encounter the silence of someone ignoring you, it's easy to spiral into overthinking and self-doubt. You may question your actions, your words, or even your worth. But resilience asks you to challenge those thoughts. It asks, is this about me or could this be about them? Resilience involves recognizing that someone else's behavior often has more to do with their internal state than with you. By reframing the situation, you protect your self-esteem and maintain a balanced perspective. Building resilience also means learning to sit with uncomfortable emotions. The hurt of being ignored can trigger feelings of rejection, inadequacy, and loneliness. Resilience doesn't demand that you suppress these emotions, but rather that you allow yourself to feel them without letting them take over. It's about acknowledging the pain, understanding its source, and then choosing how to move forward. This process strengthens your emotional endurance, teaching you that you can withstand difficult feelings and emerge intact. One of the most transformative aspects of resilience is the ability to use adversity as a teacher. Being ignored forces you to confront what truly matters in your relationships in your life. It pushes you to evaluate where you're placing your energy and whether it's being reciprocated. These moments of reflection, though born from pain, can lead to profound growth. They help you set healthier boundaries, prioritize relationships that uplift you, and let go of situations that no longer serve your well-being. Resilience also fosters self-reliance. When someone ignores you, it can feel as though they've taken something from you, a sense of connection, validation, or importance. But resilience reminds you that these things are not theirs to give or take. They reside within you. Each time you face the pain of being ignored and choose to turn inward for strength, you reinforce your ability to meet your own needs. You learn that your worth is not dependent on the attention or approval of others, but on the way you treat yourself. Another key aspect of resilience is adaptability. Life is unpredictable and relationships can be complex and messy. Resilience helps you navigate these uncertainties with grace. When someone ignores you, it might signify a shift in your connection or a signal to redirect your focus. Instead of clinging to what was, resilience encourages you to embrace what is and adapt to the new reality. This flexibility not only helps you cope with immediate challenges, but also prepares you for future ones. Resilience also involves a sense of hope and optimism. It's the belief that even in the face of hurt, something good can come from the experience. Being ignored might lead you to discover new strengths, deepen your self-awareness, or open doors to more meaningful connections. This sense of hope doesn't dismiss the pain, but places it within a larger context, one where challenges are stepping stones, not stumbling blocks. Each time you build resilience, you're creating a foundation of inner strength that carries you forward. The hurt of being ignored becomes less about the pain itself and more about the lessons it offers. You learn to face life's difficulties with courage, to rise above setbacks, and to trust in your ability to handle whatever comes your way. And as you continue to strengthen this skill, you find that fewer things have the power to shake you. In the end, resilience is not just about surviving tough moments, it's about thriving because of them. It's about turning the silence of being ignored into a catalyst for growth, strength, and self-discovery. It's a reminder that even when others withdraw their attention, you have everything you need within yourself to persevere and shine. In the end, when someone ignores you, it is not a reflection of your worth, but an invitation to grow. The pain you feel is real, but it is not the end of your story. It is a powerful signal, a reminder that you have the strength within you to rise above, to heal, and to emerge stronger. Every moment of hurt carries with it a lesson, an opportunity to build resilience, understand your true value, and redefine the way you invest your energy and emotions. Being ignored can push you to reflect, to reassess your relationships, and to reconnect with yourself in ways you may have neglected. It's a challenge that asks you to step into your power, to prioritize your own peace, and to realize that your worth is not determined by others' attention, but by the strength and love you cultivate within. Remember, being ignored is not a failure or an indication that something is wrong with you. It's simply life showing you where to focus your energy, where to grow, and where to let go. Embrace the lessons, elevate your mindset, and know that every setback is an opportunity to move forward with even greater clarity, confidence, and purpose. So the next time you face the pain of being ignored, don't react with bitterness or self-doubt. Instead, use it as a stepping stone toward deeper self-awareness, a stronger sense of self-worth, and a more resilient, empowered version of yourself. This is your moment to rise, to elevate, and to take back control of your energy and your life. The best is yet to come.